Huh, that's kind of odd. Well,
Says
we're
we're
gonna
live.
Says
We're
we're
live.
live. Let's do it. So, hi everybody. Welcome to I Take the Lead. This is so excited. This is our webinar series. We have the guests like you would not believe. The people in Denver might remember Dotty Scott. Dotty is such an amazing, amazing woman. She's helped me out so much. It's unbelievable. Before we begin, I just want to go over just a couple of things about I Take the Lead. We're in quite a few states here already, and we're just growing phenomenal. It's just unbelievable. What we do is we come together week after week after week to do one thing, really to help you grow your business while you help us grow our business. It's just people helping people. But it's in one of the kindest and nicest communities out there. Just a lot of good fun, people supporting people. So without delay, I really want to get into Dotty because she has some great stuff. She's from Vancouver, Washington. She's been a part of I Take the Lead for quite a long time now.
How long, Dotty? How long you been?
Has it been 8 years or so?
I think it
No, I
has
was going to
been,
ask you,
yeah.
Becky, when I signed up. I don't remember.
Oh, I don't know. I don't handle that. But I think it's been about 8 years. I seriously do.
Yeah, it's been a long time anyway.
Yeah, I remember your story about signing up. That was absolutely amazing. We're getting people into the room right now. As we start, Dotty, tell us a little bit about what you're talking about today and what everybody's going to learn from participating in this webinar.
Sure. I'm going to be talking about using social media to further your networking, how you can kind of tie online networking with offline networking, which we do quite so well, and just different uses for social media.
Oh, that's beautiful. Why don't we go ahead and get into it right now? I see we're having a lot more people enter in. Hi, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get this started right now. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to one of the most wonderful women in the world. Somebody who not only knows social networking, but has helped hundreds, if not thousands of people with that one golden nugget to help them grow their business. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the amazing, the beautiful Dotty Scott.
Woohoo! Thank you, James.
Yay!
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Can you see my PowerPoint?
Yes, we can.
All right. So I'm just going to jump right in, and feel free to ask questions as we go along, because that's the best way. If you wait till the end, then my brain might be off onto something else. So if you have a question, go ahead and ask it along the way. So we are going to cover networking with social media. And I'm going to give you a few ideas of just why you want to use social media. Then we're going to talk about how to find the right people and where to find the right people. And then I'm going to tell you what I do to combine social media with in-person networking. So you ready, James?
Oh, you bet. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm taking notes.
So am I.
All right. The question is, why is my PowerPoint not advancing?
Oh, I don't know. James, any ideas?
I'm so sorry about that. I did not hear that question. Please go ahead.
Dottie's PowerPoint is not advancing.
Oh, it's not. Oh, yes, I got some great ideas. So, Dotty, go ahead and get out of that real quick, if you would, please.
So unshare my screen?
Yeah, unshare your screen completely.
Okay.
Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go to screen share and share the entire screen.
Ah.
All right. Now we're going to see everything on Dotty's computer. Ooh. No. There.
Woohoo! Now it's working.
Now, go ahead and flip to the next page.
I did. Do you not see it?
No, it's not. You got to go back one more time if I could. And
Okay.
if this doesn't work, I'll go ahead and run it on this side. So go up to the green arrow where it says screen share.
Uh-huh.
And click on that. And you see where underneath it says entire screen?
Nope. I've got an option of sharing screen too, which is where my PowerPoint's at, or my PowerPoint slideshow.
Haha. So share screen too, where your PowerPoint is at.
Okay. And it doesn't work.
All right. Why don't I go ahead and bring that up here for a little bit? While I'm pulling that up, would you be kind of nice and tell a little bit your experience about I Take the Lead and how that and what I Take the Lead is to you?
Sure. As I said, I've been with I Take the Lead for about 8 years, and when I started, I was working elsewhere, but I kept that from Becky for quite some time, but I would attend meetings very regularly. Every morning in our area, I would go to a meeting. So 4 days a week, because we didn't meet on Monday. And I set appointments to meet with people outside of the meetings as often as I could. And I met with as many people as I possibly could until I got too busy to continue that activity. And the reason I did that is I opened my business in a new area, and I knew nobody when I started. So I Take the Lead was a great way for me to get to know other business owners locally here and to start earning and gaining trust.
Excellent.
And you did quit your other job, so obviously it worked.
Yes, I did quit my other job. I've been full-time web designer now for 8 or 9 years, something like that.
All right, I almost got it here. My computer's just not opening it up. Here it is. Show content. We're going to say it's not a virus. Yeah, I trust Dotty, always.
Did I send you a virus?
No, it's because it's an attachment. One thing that's really cool about Dotty, and I watch these all the time, is Dotty's no stranger to videos at all. She gives probably the most helpful hints. Go ahead and talk about that while I'm pulling this up just real quick, if you would, please.
Oh, sure. If you want on my list, you can go to premiumwebsites.net and go ahead and register at the bottom for my tips that I send out each week. And they're video tips, about a minute in length or less, and it's something you can do to further your business online that week. So as Becky says, I assign her work to do. Yes. But it's fairly painless, I think.
I always learn, and they're great tips. I love the tips.
Yeah, and it can be anything online related. So it could be some cool tool I found, or some changes done on Facebook, or just pretty much anything.
Well, that's great. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and start this presentation right now as we speak. Can you see everybody? Everything okay?
It's not the here I can change that.
And then we're going to go slideshow play. Do you see me changing it right now?
I do.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yep.
We're going to put that old little ding into it. And Dotty, when you're ready for me to change slides, I just want you to say, actually, I want you to say whatever you want to say. That works perfect. Also,
you jump to the third slide.
I went back. Did you see me going back?
Yeah. Go ahead and jump to the third slide. That's where I'm at.
Perfect.
Okay. So I'm going to talk briefly about...
Also, real quick, while I got you here, over on the side on the chat, because I can't see the chat right now, I can't tell people what is going on that chat, so if you'd be kind enough and just watch that. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to chime in. Just chat your ideas, your suggestions, whatever you want to tell Dotty. All right, take it away, Dotty. Thank you.
Okay. So I've got basically some reasons why you want to use social media for the people that are not currently using it, at least very effectively. And I want to say up front that all of these charts and stats that I have came from Social Media Examiner, which is a very popular website in my field. You might know Michael Stelzner, and he does a survey every year where this particular one, he surveyed over 2,000 different marketers And these are the results that he got from that survey, and it was all done in 2014. So it's all current.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So the first one here is just interest in social sites. So he basically asked people that are marketers, what social sites do you find the most interesting? And, you know, my observation here is that blogging showed up number one. Well, I blog, but the cool thing about blogging is it integrates with social media very easily. And so that's one thing I wanted to point out as to why social sites. If you're blogging, you're missing the bucket by not automatically including social sites along with your blogging. And you can kind of look through here. Google+, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, those are all really familiar to most people. And when you get down to the bottom, you've got some kind of obscure things that people may not even know about, starting with like podcasting, forums, kind of a thing of the past. Geolocation, it would be any of your geo-targeted stuff like Foursquare, and daily deals like Groupon. So if you want to flip to the next slide. Okay, so marketers using social media, 97% currently use social media for marketing. And 92% said social media is important to their business, up from 86% in 2013. So I think I mentioned that he does this every year, and he's got stats going back several years and how social media has grown. And so it's a constantly growing medium, and it's starting to get to the point, I would say, where everybody's using it. And the word marketers here is kind of a loose thing. I would put marketers as obviously people who have their main job as marketing, but also all of the small business owners out there that do their own marketing. And the reason I know that is because I actually participated in this survey as a small business owner. And I find this bottom one interesting. When asked if Facebook is effective, 50% of business to consumer businesses agreed versus only 34% of business to business type businesses. And I'm going to get more into that in just a minute. If you want to go to the next slide, please. This is a question I get from my clients all the time. How much time do I have to put into this each week? And you notice at the top it starts with 0 hours. So 2% of the people surveyed don't do anything, which I find interesting because why take the survey then?
Yeah.
But the next biggest one is 34% do 1 to 5 hours. And honestly, that's what I do in my business is 1 to 5 hours. On weeks that I'm really busy, it's closer to the 1. And on weeks where I'm not working on so many projects, I'll put more time into it. And miraculously, I find out the following week I'm more busy again. So there is really a direct correlation into how much time you put into something versus how effective it is. Next slide, James. Okay, this was a question that was asking each person why they were using social media and what kind of benefits they really got from it. The biggest one, 92%, is increased exposure. And honestly, that is the biggest thing, or the biggest reason why I am also on social media, because it gives me exposure that I can't get anywhere else, and it doesn't cost anything for that exposure. If you were paying, you know, for radio exposure or TV exposure, I have no idea what it would cost, but it would be significantly more than free. You know, I have people, when I go to mixers and whatnot through I Take the Lead, I have people that come up to me and they say, gosh, you're everywhere. How could you possibly get all of that done? And the reality is, I just use the tools, and really being everywhere, I'm at my computer at home. So I have the exposure and the, what's the word I'm looking for, Becky? The it just looks like I'm everywhere, whereas I'm really just like you guys are. I'm just using the tools.
That's incredible.
Yeah. The videos really help with that perception as well. The second most popular benefit was increased traffic, which if you use your social media correctly, you're going to get increased traffic to your website naturally. And when I say correctly, I have some people that come to me and they say, I'm not getting any traffic to my website. And when I look at their social media sites, it's because they don't have their website linked. So, they can't actually get more information by clicking a link and going to a website. So that's something you want when you get it set up. You want to make sure that you have that in there. And the rest of these: develop loyal fans, provide marketplace insight, growing business partnerships. That's been a big one for me, I would say. And I think it's probably been a pretty big one for Becky as well.
Oh, it has, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. The reduced marketing expenses, I kind of mentioned, the cost between radio, TV, that kind of advertising versus social media is huge. And I find it interesting that improved sales was actually the bottom one, because most people that come to me, they come to me saying, I want to get more sales, teach me how to use social media. The reality is, social media is for networking. It is for people getting to know and trust you, and it's for that increased exposure. It's not really for sales. The sales come after. And so I find it interesting that hit the bottom, which is right where it should be.
And it's just like networking, though.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. You can't go to a mixer and expect to come out with a new sale. That's why we follow up.
I didn't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. I see it all the time. I see it all the time. Thank you.
Yeah. You've heard the term, the gold is in the follow-up. That is so true with networking. So if you want to hit the next slide. Okay, how to find the right people. This seems to be a big mystery for everybody. But the reality is, it's because they're not clear on what the right person is that they're looking for. So the very first thing is to be sure that you're on the right platform for your business. And by that, I mean you are looking and you are learning and you are using the platform where your right people are already hanging out, instead of trying to drag the right people to your favorite platform. And I will touch a little bit more on that in a minute. Get to know people first, just like in-person networking. I can't tell you how many times a client has come to me and said, I've tried social media, and usually it's Facebook. I've tried Facebook, and it just doesn't work for me. And I'll ask them, well, what have you done to use Facebook? Oh, well, I just kind of hang out and watch people. I don't really do anything. It's like, okay. If you put no effort into it, you're not going to get anything out of it. Just like any other networking that you have out there. So you need to treat online networking just like you would offline networking.
Can I ask you a question at that point, Dotty?
Sure, Becky.
Yeah. Well, what about the people that just post? They just post, and it's not even necessarily selling. They might post really great information, but if you say something to them, if you say, well, great post, I really appreciate it, they never respond. It's kind of like they don't engage.
Yeah, they're missing on the engagement part.
Yeah.
And that is actually very key to social media, is the engagement, because if you're not acknowledging when somebody is trying to engage you on something that you posted, it's almost like not thanking a client for their business. How much return business are you going to get if you snub all of your clients and don't appreciate them and thank them? Probably not a whole lot. So yeah, it's the same thing here. And also, Facebook will only really show you in your timeline stuff that people have engaged with and people that you are engaging with. So what happens if nobody ever responds when people engage with them? They get less and less of that type of content put into their newsfeed, and they're going to start seeing everything that's just paid for as opposed to what they really want to see.
Oh, really? Wow, I didn't know that.
Yep, Facebook has changed that recently.
Wow.
One of the biggest mistakes people make, and this is true in their business in general, is they don't understand the target audience or ideal client that they're looking for, and therefore they don't know how to reach them. And it's true online as it is offline. You have to know what your person that you're looking for, you have to know what they like. It's great if you know how they spend their time off or what is important to them, because those are the types of things that you can really engage with online. And if you know that, it just makes it easier to find those kind of people.
So if I get this right, it's no different than regular networking, which you'd say in public to another person, how you follow up with your friends, how you talk to them. You're just saying it a different way. You're saying it over online. There's no magic. It's just writing it down instead of speaking it out of your mouth.
Oh, you just gave away my secret. There's no magic.
Oops, sorry.
Everybody thought I was magic, James.
I'm sorry.
There's no magic to this at all. It's figuring out how to engage with people, whether it's online or whether it's in person. Not being the wallflower that's standing on the wall and not, just kind of watching and observing. How you talk to people. It's all the same thing. If people don't like you in person, they're probably not going to like you online. So you really got to get that figured out. And again, you want to go to them. We skipped a little bit, but that's cool.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. You want to go to them. Don't expect them to come to you. And, here's a big one. I get this comment all the time, especially with Facebook. All these people try to connect with me, and I can't figure out how I know them or why they want to connect with me and all that. Facebook and LinkedIn are the biggest culprits of this. However, you never know who those people know. And so, just like in-person networking, you're not necessarily selling to the person you're talking to, but you want them to feel comfortable enough with you so that you can get introduced to the people they know. I accept all invites on social media, keeping in mind, as soon as somebody tries something that I would find offensive, I then go and undo that. Either I block them or just unfriend them or whatever it is. But initially, I will accept an invite from every single person that requests to connect with me, because I'm not here personally, I am here for business. Okay, next slide, James. Where to find the right people. And this goes back to the right platform. You want to make sure that you're using the platform where your target audience is already hanging out. And that's very important, even if you hate that platform. So, I get a lot of business through Facebook. I hate Facebook with a passion. I can't stand how they always change stuff. I can't stand how they manipulate the news feeds. And I could go on and on about how I hate Facebook. But because I get business from it, I just kind of have to overlook all of that stuff and use that platform. Another platform I get a lot of business from is LinkedIn. So those two platforms to me are 1 and 2, because that is where my audience is and that is where I get my business. The other ones that I just kind of use because I want to, and it's nice when I get something from them, but by and far for my business, it's LinkedIn and Facebook that provide me leads in business.
Dotty, is it time, because Scott, he's actually up in the Seattle area, and he is a coach, but he does the Google Plus. I realize you're on Google Plus.
Yes,
he has to listen to the replay. He had to leave the webinar, but he asked if you would mind just commenting on Google Plus and the potential role that Hangouts on Air plays in helping network and promote one's business?
Sure.
If you're prepared.
Google Plus is an awesome platform. It provides many tools that are free, and Google Hangouts is one of them. And a lot of the tools that it provides are things that business owners should be using, whether they use the social media side of the platform or not. If you are a visual business, Google Plus is great because they have great ways to share images. If you are in any sort of a tech business at all, and it could be a wide range of the topic of tech, Google Plus is a great place to be because that's where all of the breaking news and all of the technology are released. I mean, that's where you find people talking about all of the cutting edge stuff.
Oh, really? Wow.
I use it that way. Now, as far as Hangouts and Hangouts on Air, it would be a great thing for businesses because, again, it's free. The Hangouts on Air stream right to your YouTube account, and it gets recorded. You can then download it, do whatever you want to, and re-upload it, or just leave it there, if you don't want to do any editing or anything to it. And it's a great platform, even as a one-on-one. If you're a coach or something like that, and you're coaching somebody that's you're not meeting them in person, Google Hangouts is a great way to just, between two people, be able to share your screen and see each other through the webcams and that type of thing. Go ahead.
Now, isn't it also, and this is what I use it for, and I may be wrong, but isn't it also a great way to promote events? Because doesn't it send, if you do an event, doesn't it send it right to the person's email box and put it in the Google Calendar for you as well?
It does. I personally have not used it that way, so I'm not sure what all the cool things it does because it's changed since I've used it last. They've done a major update on it. But yeah, it's a great way to have events, especially if you're doing like an interview and you're wanting a few people on there, up to 9 people. It's free. Well, I guess up to 9 people is all you can have because it's free, period. And but if you want more to watch it, then you have to stream it through your YouTube and replay it that way. I hope that answered the question for Scott.
I think it probably did, but he's not here anymore, so yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, and the last point on this slide I wanted to make is that B2B and B2C are very different, and you get different results based on the platforms that you use. Next slide, James. Okay, so commonly used social platforms, and again, this is from the survey done by Social Media Examiner. Facebook is number 1, Twitter number 2, LinkedIn number 3. And you can kind of go all the way down the line here, see what you're using, and see where it ranks. Next slide, James. I found this one interesting. Platforms used by B2B versus B2C. So the B2B is the blue color. And you can see that B2B is using Facebook, but B2C is using it more, which kind of makes sense. The one that the B2B is using LinkedIn more than your B2Cs, which again makes sense because mostly the people on LinkedIn are in business. The Google Plus, your B2B is using more, as well as blogging, and again, that makes sense to me as well. So based on the type of business you are, you might want to make some considerations in where you're using social media. Next slide.
I was surprised on that Twitter one.
Yeah. Here's just kind of another way to show this chart, platforms used by B2B versus B2C. B2C, you got 68% using Facebook, whereas B2B, you're pretty much split between LinkedIn and Facebook. So I found that interesting.
Yeah.
The other interesting thing, as you pointed out, James, is Twitter. The B2Bs use Twitter more than the B2Cs, which
I was surprised about that.
And then blogging on B2B is fairly big as well, which I think makes sense. So, yeah, here's kind of another way to look at that same chart.
But it's exciting to see that YouTube only uses 3% on the B2B because that is such an effective tool for any business.
And I'm thinking that is an up-and-coming thing. I'm surprised that it's that low. I use YouTube a lot. But yeah, so that tells me there's a lot of people out there that need to get into video. So maybe someday we'll do a hangout on how to do videos. Next slide. Okay, most important platform, according to this, was Facebook. Now, I wanted to point out on here, always, all of these questions that he asked were really one, you had to answer it as if you were picking one over another, because you could only pick one. But I wanted to point out that how I use this social media is I don't use it one here, one there. I combine everything together that I'm using, and I start that with my blog. So, and on my videos, I guess I started on YouTube. Put the video on YouTube, embed it into my blog, create the blog post. Then I share it to Pinterest, which we haven't talked a lot about, but Pinterest allows you to do videos as well as images. So one of my boards has all my videos on it. I share it to Facebook and I share it to Twitter, and Becky always shares it for me to LinkedIn, which I greatly appreciate. But you get better results by using more than just one platform. And I don't know why that wasn't addressed in this survey, but it wasn't. So I just wanted to point out that once you start using social media, it's better to use several platforms and just use the tools provided to make that easier. And I think that's my last slide. Nope, one more. Social media and in-person networking. That's the big thing. When I first started, I told you I didn't know anybody. I would go to mixers, and I would take the cards that I got when I went to regular weekly meetings through I Take the Lead. Anybody that I met, I would then go back and I would invite them into my network. And at the time, I was using LinkedIn more than Facebook. And so I would invite them onto LinkedIn, and I found a lot of times they weren't even a member of LinkedIn yet. I mean, again, this was, 8 to 10 years ago. But consequently, because of that, 80% of my LinkedIn following are local business owners, which makes that a really powerful tool for me. The other 20% are people that have found me because I use like the questions and answers aspect of LinkedIn and that type of thing. And so I found that I've built, I think, 5 or 6 now websites from the East Coast, and they're all people that I've met through LinkedIn and then talked to on the phone. I would have never met them had I not been on LinkedIn, and I would have never built those websites because they wouldn't have found me. So LinkedIn, Facebook, anytime you get a chance to either meet somebody in person and then connect with them online, or connect with them online and then meet them either in person or over the phone, it just quadruples your effectiveness on social media. So don't think that online and offline are exclusive of each other, because when you combine them, it works so much better. Another thing that you can do is you can build a following in an area in which you want to do business. So that could either be a physical area of the country, maybe you're going to some other place, or it could be an area of interest. For example, James, when I went to Colorado for the first time, I didn't really know anybody there but you. So I went ahead and I connected with people through your Facebook account and found people in Colorado that you knew. And so I started to make those connections before I ever flew out there. which really helped me when I was there. You
I
didn't know
know.
I did that, did you?
I knew everybody loved you. I didn't know you talked to everybody beforehand, but I knew everybody loved you.
Yeah, and it's because I started to build that relationship online before I ever went there.
That's excellent.
Yeah, now you know my magic secret number 2. But you can also do this in an area of interest. So, I don't know, say that your customers really love golfing, and that's an area of interest that you share with your ideal client. Why not go out and do like a Facebook search for people that love golfing and try to connect with them to start to build that relationship? So it can be either physical area or area of interest. Pay attention to what your followers are experiencing in their lives. This has been a big thing for me recently because I connect with a lot of my clients on Facebook, and as you know, people post all kinds of stuff on Facebook, some for which you could care less about, but when they tell me that their pet just passed away, or that they have a grandchild that was just born, or that their child just got married, or even in my case right now, my daughter's in the military and doing different things. If you celebrate their wins, you will get your payback way more than if you just watch it and don't do anything. It's amazing. And when I say celebrate, it can either be online, celebrating with them, whatever it is, or it can even be sending them a card offline, explaining or just expressing, your congratulations or condolences, or whatever would be appropriate. That really goes a long ways to building that relationship and having people trust you.
So let me ask you this then. How do you know when somebody wins? How do you know when somebody's having a win?
First of all, you have to recognize what a win is, because a win isn't the same thing for everybody. But when somebody posts something on Facebook about their kid getting married, having a new grandchild, whatever it is, that's when I acknowledge that. And if it's somebody that I've done business with, or I've met networking, or I have some sort of relationship, I will actually send them a physical card, either congratulating or condoling, whatever it was.
Okay. Just for fun, since we were at the last slide, I thought we would have some fun. I know you're not prepared for this.
That's okay. Hit me with it.
I was hoping you could help me. So let's say that my target market was a contractor. I pulled up my Facebook page right here, and I would like to meet and start relationships with contractors. What would I do?
The first thing you might do is go up to that Facebook search, and my first question would be, are they local contractors?
Contractors, yeah, in Denver, local. We'll say Arvada.
So put in their contractors, Denver or Arvada, either one, and just see what you get. I see 5 there that you can contact.
So we got the JK, we got Arvada, Wyoming. So that's that's
well, there's Professional Roofing and Exteriors, which is Arvada, Colorado. Brothers Fence Company, Arvada, Colorado.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I don't know the Galaxy Control. I don't know what that is. You have to visit those and see. Put in Denver and see what you get.
All right, let's put in Denver. Oops. I'm sure that happens to you all the time, right?
Yes.
I'm too fast. We were all trained to push enter for a certain. That's kind of hard. Okay, here we go. We got 5 of them right here.
Yep. And I imagine if you put in, Golden and all those other little areas you have around there, you're going to get 5 or 6 on each one. Now, if you wanted to know more about it, you go to that actual page and see what they're all about, and hopefully it links to their website. and gives you a way to contact them. If not, you
Yeah.
can usually message right through Facebook.
Right here, and I can message them. And you're saying when I message them, whoops, there I am about my Thanksgiving plans. when, when I message them, I should not. I should not sell. How do I go about not selling? What kind of message would I say? I want to get to know you. I want to learn more about your business. Do I message? Do I put it out?
Well, you're in the referral business.
Mm-hmm.
So you might say something like, I saw your page on Facebook, and I wanted to get to know more about what you do because I refer a lot of people that are in the contracting business. And just, and you might put in there, you can call me or email me and see if they contact you.
Wow, great ideas, Dotty.
What was that?
Great ideas.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You spell like I do, James.
That's what this is for. You see that?
It's 2 words.
Lot is 2 words.
Yeah.
I know that.
And you got Tastebook instead of Facebook.
I did what?
You have Tastebook instead of Facebook. I think it's a T instead of an F.
No, that's an F. I promise.
Oh, is it? Okay. My
hard to see.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So let's just send that out and see what happens.
Yeah. What can it hurt, right?
So pretty much, I'm going to stop sharing now.
Okay.
So what you're saying is pretty much anybody can do this. Just a quick little message out there, and people can do it right away. They can start changing the business, start a conversation.
Yes. It's not rocket science.
And the key is to take an interest in the other person and not try to sell them.
You want to figure out what you can help them with.
Right.
Before they will ever help you.
Wonderful. Now, what if I wasn't in the referral business? What if I was a financial advisor or an insurance agent, a realtor, another contractor looking for subcontractors?
Yeah, it all goes back to what can I do to help the other person? And that's what you want to message them. Because you don't want them to feel like you're out to sell them something. You want them to feel like you are wanting to help them somehow. So it kind of goes back to knowing your target audience, knowing what they like, knowing what they need, and all of that. And I would not be approaching people that are outside of your target audience.
That's a great idea. Keep it as centered and as focused as possible.
Yes.
Now, Nina has in the chat, I'm hearing myself back. I don't know why. But Nina has in the chat, and how about the customers that don't respond when the owner tries to engage? Can I guess on this one? Can I take a wild guess?
Sure.
Some will, some won't. So what?
Yeah. It's like going to a mixer and finding people that really don't want to talk to you. I look at it as their loss.
Right. And I think most customers will engage when you try to engage with them, as long as you're keeping it about them and not about yourself.
Yeah. If they get the idea that you're just trying to sell them on something, then it's probably not going to be a good experience.
Right.
So don't sell. Kind of like at a mixer. Like you said before, kind of like at your I Take the Lead group. You're not there to sell. You're there to help the people around the table.
Right.
Well, wonderful. Well, let's talk about I Take the Lead for a second, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I know a lot of my members out there, and I don't know, Becky, if you're the same. Probably not in Portland out there, but out here a lot of times people are struggling, and they want to use social network to get people to come to their group.
I post a lot of events because I do speaking for I Take the Lead, so I'll go around to different groups and talk on some topic, and I put a lot of the events like that out through Facebook. And I find that some people find it, they start sharing it, that type of thing. But I don't rely on that to get people to the meetings.
No, that's great. Wow, this is excellent. Well, let me ask you, we're going to go ahead and move to our magic minutes is what we call it, Dottie. I love these. And they're not magic, it's personal questions. It's fun. It's just back and forth questions that a lot of people might have. If you have any questions for Dottie, she's a genius. I mean, obviously you can tell. Did you see how easy it was that I went out and I was able to talk to a contractor like that, all because of Dottie? I'll bet you I'll start a conversation. I'll bet you that we'll get the ball rolling. I'll make a lot more conversations because of this right here. So this is the time to go ahead and chat your questions, ask questions. Let's talk about LinkedIn.
Sure. What do you want to know about it?
Love LinkedIn. And one thing that I honestly love about LinkedIn is they send me an email of the groups and what I'm missing if I forget something. But I'm having a hard time getting that little bar to that 100% participation. I'm only at like 50% in some groups, 25% in some groups. How do you make that bar go up, and how important is it to make that little bar go up? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. You know, to me, it's of zero importance. None. Because how is that helping you? The way I use LinkedIn, I do participate in some groups, but really it's the questions and answers area that exploded my LinkedIn presence, for lack of a better word. And also the trick I did of inviting people that I met offline online. So, but anyway, so the questions and answers, have you ever used that, James?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
In fact, you showed it to me last time you were out here. I use it all the time. And
Yep.
I blog the way you taught me to blog, too. In fact, almost all of my posts, all of the events out there are that little secret that Dottie taught me.
Yeah.
So James does learn.
In LinkedIn, it gives you a way to sort through so that you can only read that you only have to read the questions that you actually would know an answer to, so that are in your field of expertise. And then you can answer those questions for people. And when I tell you you can answer them, I don't mean giving them some short little line and then enticing them to contact you so that you can like get a consulting fee or whatever to answer it. I mean actually answer the question. Don't hold back. That is how I really built my East Coast following on LinkedIn, and that is the reason why I got 5 or 6 websites. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's because I will answer those questions 100%.
Wonderful. We got a couple chats on the side. Fred says we need a good primary LinkedIn coach. Referrals in Denver. I want to say Dottie is available pretty much everywhere. And also, can I make a shameless plug for tomorrow, Dottie?
Sure.
Networking for Newbies, believe it or not, on 80th and Sheridan tomorrow. Donna Shannon. Now she's not a LinkedIn coach. She's a career coach, but she knows LinkedIn like the back of her hand. She's doing a full 30-minute presentation tomorrow, so you can learn some stuff there. And then you can also go to AskDotty.com and learn everything you want to know about LinkedIn there. She's absolutely amazing. Leo Potts says, can you show that on your screen? Questions, answers. I don't know what you mean, Leo.
I think he means on the LinkedIn.
Yeah, bring up the LinkedIn questions and answers area.
Yeah. Why don't I go ahead and do that here? Why don't I go ahead and do that? And we go entire screen. And oh, what am I looking at here? Yes, this is amazing. Wow, is that a shameless plug? That was an accident. While we're over here, I'm going to get to LinkedIn in just 1 minute, the questions and answers, but I do want to bring you to Ask Dotty. This is amazing. You see all this information, and it's easy. It's AskDotty.com. Look at all this information that she actually puts out there to help people. And, I mean, she just gives and gives and gives until it hurts. It's crazy. And look at all this video. It makes it so easy. She's got so much video, and they're short, too. all of our videos that she puts out on a basis are just short, they're easy, they're right to the point, and they really help you out. So this is absolutely amazing. Everyone stop what you're doing, go to AskDotty.com. Okay, now let's go to LinkedIn. It's that little IN button here. And I'm on LinkedIn. So I'm on LinkedIn for the first time, or I've been on here before. I don't know how to go to the questions and answers. Will you walk me through this?
Are you signed in, James? Yes, you are.
I am. You see my little face? Hey! Oh, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to pretend I don't know what I'm doing. Walk me through this. How do I get to these questions and answers, and what do I do?
Look at the drop-downs under those menus. It used to be under interests. Down on the menu itself.
Down on the menu itself. Interests.
Yes, right under there still, companies, groups. Nope, they've moved it. Business services, maybe? Yeah, it's been a while since I've been there, and they keep moving stuff around. Maybe just do a search for questions and answers. Oh, that's just looking for people. Jobs. Well, they moved it. Have they put it down in the sidebar?
Let's scroll down and see what we can find. Hey! I love looking through here. I see all my friends. Britt is awesome. I love you. It makes you feel good when you see your friends, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really, really does. Okay, let's look here. I'm a-looking. I'm not seeing it. Well, help me out with something else. While we're on LinkedIn, will you help me out with something else? This is something I always had. I'm going to go to my profile real quick, if I can. And there I am. Yay! And we're going to scroll on down here, and it wants to know what degree I earned at my high school. I love that. We're going to go down on here. How important in this title is it to tell who you are and what you do?
It's very important because that's what is searched on when you're typing into that search area. So those are the keywords that are being searched on. And do you have your pictures and stuff uploaded down here? Any awards, all that stuff, James?
Well, let's scroll down. Let's see what we got down here. Right under my summary.
Can you go to mine?
Yeah, you bet. Let's go to Dotty. Yeah, why am I not at yours?
There I am.
Are we not friends? It says we need to connect.
Oh my word!
How in the world has that happened?
You just stabbed me through the heart, dude.
Yeah, really.
How do I know Dotty?
We've done business together.
Yep. And should I just send it, when I send invites, should I just send it with, I'd like to add my professional, or should I make it a nice note?
If it's somebody that you actually know, like you and me, I just leave it blank or leave it as is. But if it's somebody that may not know who you are right away, I would put in there why you're wanting to connect.
I think you're awesome.
That's
there
fine.
We go.
And I will accept that later. But does it should let you look at mine.
Yep. I'm right here.
And if you scroll down, some of the feedback I get is that people like the images I put in there.
Oh, wonderful. Look at that. That's beautiful.
Words and whatnot. Take an image or scan it or however you can do it. Put it up in there. And if you keep scrolling down, you'll see more. This grid thing here, although it seems ridiculous, it's actually very important. And once it gets filled out as to a square like this, the importance goes away, so it doesn't matter anymore. But what people do is they will be researching me and some other web designer, and maybe 3 or 4 web designers. And visually, this looks like I know what I'm doing, because it looks like all of these different people have endorsed me on, these topics that are related to web design.
I know a few people on here.
You probably know quite a few people on here. But when they're comparing me to someone else who has not put any effort into filling this out, then it looks visually like I'm way better than this person over here, which again, it's just a visual perception, but a visual perception online is all it could take for someone to call me over somebody else. And then once they've talked to me, if they like me, they'll go with me. Does that make sense?
That's wonderful.
That's wonderful. That grid thing is really, really important that you get that filled out. The way I did it was by endorsing other people, and then they felt obligated to endorse me.
Now, let's take those compared to recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say recommendations is the most important, and some people say that being endorsed is. What do you think?
They're two different things. A recommendation is like a testimonial. So generally, it's somebody that's worked with you. They know exactly what you do. You've done something for them. Blah blah blah. And the recommendations go through LinkedIn, so there's no way I can alter them whatsoever. So those are important as a testimonial. Endorsements are important for a quick visual, you're better than this person that they're comparing you to. Because ultimately you want them to email you or call you, and you want their business. So the visual comparison is equally as important.
Oh, that's great. And I'm seeing you got like 23 people on here who just absolutely love you completely.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. It shows connections on here, and then it shows groups.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely amazing. I love your profile, Dotty. I mean, it's so professional. It's so nice. It really.
Yeah, and everybody has the ability to upload images now, which, I mean, they made that live about a year ago, but so many people haven't done it. So these images right here are what I'm talking about, and the awards and stuff that I've gotten, testimonials that I put on an image so that I could upload them. Anybody can do that now on their profiles.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
That's great. I didn't know.
Again, it doesn't matter really that you have the images there. What matters is that your profile looks awesome, and they're comparing you to whoever else is in your industry and that they're thinking about calling. And if you look awesome and they don't, you're the one they're going to call first. And then it's up to you to close the deal, you know, to help the person to make the sale, whatever you want to put on there. It's not up to social media to do that.
Well, that's excellent. I'm so excited. I'm glad we did this here, and I love the contact information right here, and tells on how to get a hold of you. Now, are these just hyperlinks?
Yep, they're links to my websites or social media. That's my Twitter account.
Well, wonderful. That was the only one we haven't got to yet. So look at that. That's a beautiful picture. Who took that picture?
I did.
I know you do. I watch your pictures. Absolutely amazing.
There's my daughter who's in the Army now.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, she is doing awesome.
Wonderful. So you tweet more about your personal life then than the business.
I actually have this set up that it pulls from my other social accounts. I never go to Twitter. And so this is actually pulling from my Facebook, the images that I've put up there.
Oh, I see. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that mushroom. I know what you do in your spare time. No, take photography is what I was thinking. I was saying take photography.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I have lunch with my virtual assistant.
Yes. Yes. Well, that just about ends it. We're at 3:59. Dotty, do you want to tell us anything? Do you want to let us know how to get a hold of you, how to use you, and who your perfect client is? And maybe if you have a promotion, this is the time.
I don't have a promotion right now, but my Ask Dotty website is video-based training, $24.95 a month. You can get just about any information on online stuff from that. If you want to get a hold of me, I believe my phone number is across the bottom of my screen. And you can also email me at dotty@askdotty.com or dotty@premiumwebsites.net. and I'd be happy to answer any website-related questions or online-related questions.
Wonderful. And I went ahead and redirected everyone to AskDotty.com. So that's the place to go when we hang up here. I'm excited. This was amazing. Thank you so much, Dotty. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Dotty, and thank you, James.
Thank you, Becky. Well, I think we're out of breath. We're out of time. It's time to get on that social media. And what do you say? You said the more you use it, the more business you get?
Yep, the more you use it, the better result you're going to have.
All right, so everybody get on Ask Dotty, look at some of those videos, and then try it out. Experiments are awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.